Clerk is ready to go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thanks especially to all the people who came out to share their views today. Thanks also, I see from a communication that several thousand Torontonians have written into the Executive Committee urging this committee and Council to stand fast and oppose the upload of the TTC. It's not often we get thousands of communications on a single item, so thank you to all of you who've been working on that. I want to spend a moment to talk about this notion that we should be doing consultations. One thing that I have learned being an elected official, if you have a consultation, but you don't tell everybody all the information at the consultation, it's a fake consultation. And people resent you for it, and they don't trust you, and they don't believe in the consultation, and they don't believe in the outcome. The only way you can have a real consultation with the public is if you share all the information. And in this instance, I'm not clear that that's going to happen. So, you know, I'm deeply concerned that we would even consider going to Torontonians and saying, we can't tell you what's going on, but what's your opinion? That's just wrong. I mean, can you imagine getting the poll in question? Do you like option 1, 2, or 3 best? I mean, if I got that polling question today, I wouldn't know. You might as well ask me to explain the mathematics behind Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. I know it about as well as that. So I think that if our principle is transparency, we have to make our consultation process about sharing information with the public as the first step, and sharing all the information, including this so-called cabinet document that lays out what their outcomes are. Without that document in hand, I don't even know what game I'm playing. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is that Toronto has had, since amalgamation, an endless conversation about who does what, who pays for what, and who's in charge. And at times, Council has been courageous in that conversation, and at times we haven't been. I can remember during the first 2 terms of the post-amalgamation Council, then Mayor Mel Lastman used to every year, every single year, when the budget came in front of his council, he would have 200 million or 150 million that wasn't balanced. And he would go on television and say, the province has to pay this piece, it's for the TTC. You might remember those days. He would have press conferences. He used some very colorful language to describe Premier Mike Harris, and he was able to get 100 million, 150 million. I remember one year he got over $200 million for public transit. And eventually we got tired as a city of doing these one-off bailouts for the public transit system. And the next mayor who came along ran a public campaign with ads on bus shelters, ads on subways, ads on the radio. The Board of Trade got involved, the TTC. The mayor was having press conferences with civic leaders saying other orders of government have to come to the table and fund the TTC. And you know what? We also took them to court. The TTC took the federal government to court saying we shouldn't be paying the GST on our purchases as a commission anymore. We won that. We got the federal government for the first time to agree to buying buses. We got the provincial government to agree to build what is now the largest civic works project in the country, which is the Eglinton Light Rail line. We got the provincial government to give us a share of the gas tax to pay for transit. When we stand up as a city, led by a mayor who's willing to fight, we can actually make the province and the federal government come to the table. And that's what I'm hearing Torontonians tell us they want us to do. So let's not go out and poll people on a bunch of stuff that, frankly, nobody knows what it's about. Let's go out and tell Torontonians about the great transit system we could have if other orders of government came to the funding table. And yeah, if we want to talk a little bit about how expansion works and who pays for that and who does what, we can have that conversation too. But that conversation, without talking about the federal and provincial governments coming to the table with money, is a waste of time. Thank you.